Great, so far we've become very familiar with solving equations. What we're going to be doing today is just rewriting equations and formulas. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to solve an equation for a formula or a formula for a specific variable. Right? Now you might be wondering, why on earth would I want to solve a formula for a different variable? Well, I'm going to give you a little example right here. I'm going to write this formula up here. So I have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I don't know if you're familiar with that at all, but it's the Pythagorean theorem, and it has to do with right triangles. Well, as you recall, Mr. Wiersma and I own a pool business, and one of the things that Mr. Wiersma does when he builds pools, he is looking at when we've got a rectangular pool, he sometimes needs to find that diagonal length, or sometimes he knows the diagonal length, and he might need to find this side right here. Well, this side is A. So if he knew things about B and C, he would have something like, let's say he had something like 8 squared plus 25 equals 18. Every single time he would have to, whenever he wants to find that side, he'd have to solve a big equation. But if he actually solved this formula for A first, then he could just plug his numbers in and he wouldn't have to solve every time. So that would be a bonus of rewriting an equation. So as we get into this, that would be a real life application of why we would want to do something like that. Alright, we're just going to jump right into examples. You'll notice these first 3 examples say to solve for x. So the biggest thing is we just want to get x by itself. Now one thing I'm always going to do is just put a line down my equal sign just to keep my things separated. And then I'm also going to circle what we're solving for. So we're solving for the x. I notice, and you'll notice in all of these problems, we have lots of letters instead of numbers. No big deal at all. Sometimes it's even a little bit easier to solve. Okay, on this one, to get rid of this minus m, we're going to do plus m to both sides. So I'm going to have x equals, and then these are not like terms, so we can't put them together, so I'm just going to have t plus m, and guess what? We are done. Alright, this next one, there are 2 different ways to work this problem. If I'm going to draw my arrow line down, I'm going to do 2 different ways, and then you can decide which way works best for you. One way that we could do this is we could go ahead and distribute the a to both parts. Then I'm going to have ax plus ab equals c. And then remember, we're solving for the x, so I'm going to be solving for this right here. So to get rid of the plus ab, we're going to do minus ab to both sides. And so I'll get ax. And then on this side, we can't combine those because they're not like terms, so we'll just still have c minus ab. And then to get the x by itself, just like if that was a 5 or a 2 or something, we divide. So this time we're just going to divide all 3 parts by the a. So we're going to get x equals c over a minus, and in this case the a's, since they're just the same, are going to cancel, and we get b. Right, now if that was like, whew, that was a bit much for me, this would be an easier way we could do it. First of all, since there are parentheses, I can divide both sides to get rid of the a. So those are gone. So I'm going to have x plus b equals c over a, and then to get rid of the plus b, we can do minus b to both sides, so I'll just have x equals c over a minus b. Notice I got the same answer, and this method might have been a little bit easier. Alright, problem 3. We have c equals x plus a over b, and again we want to get the x by itself. I'm going to draw my line again. Now if I want the x by itself, I need to get rid of this divided by b. Well, we know to get rid of divided by b, we're going to multiply both sides by b. So this side we're going to have bc. This side the b's are gone, and I have x plus a. Now remember, we want to get the a by itself, so to get rid of the plus a, we're going to do minus a to both sides. So I'll have bc minus a equals x, and if I wanted to, I could rewrite it as x equals bc minus a. Alright, these are so much fun. Let's try a few more. Okay, on this one, I'm going to have you pause the video, and I would like you to try it and see if you can figure it out, and then come back and see how you did. Alrighty, on this one we want to solve for the x, so the first thing that I'm going to do is get rid of this plus c, so we're going to do minus c to both sides. So those are gone, so now I have x over 2 equals d minus c, and then to get rid of the divided by 2, we're going to multiply this side by 2, and then we're going to multiply this side by 2. So we get x equals, and then I'm going to distribute that to both parts, we're going to have 2d minus 2c. And that would be my answer. So hopefully you did all right on that one. You could have also left your answers to parentheses d minus c. That would have been okay as well. All right, next one. Again, we would like to solve for x. So I'm going to draw a line down my equal sign. Now to get rid of a positive ay, we're going to subtract ay from both sides, so these are gone. On the left side I'm left with 3x, and then on the right side we can't put those together, so it will just stay m minus ay. And then to get rid of the 3, we're going to divide each part by 3. So we're going to get x equals, this just stays as m over 3, and this side stays as ay over 3. There's nothing that we can cancel out this time. All right, now I am going to have you pause the video once again, and I would like you to try number 6 and see how you do with that. All right, so hopefully you're back and watching how you did on this. If I want to solve for the x, we're going to get rid of the minus e by doing plus e to both sides. Okay, so those are gone. I'm going to get vx equals p plus e. And then from here, to get rid of the x by itself, we're going to divide all the parts by v. So we're going to get x equals p over v plus e over v. And then that would be my answer. So hopefully you did okay on that one. All right, let's keep going here. The next one we are going to solve for y. We have 5x minus 4y equals 20. These are just the same, we just have a few more numbers in it instead of letters this time. Right, we're solving for y, so I'm going to circle this part right here. We're going to get rid of the 5x, so I'm going to do minus 5x here, minus 5x over here. So now we have negative 4y and 20 minus 5x. And then to get rid of the negative 4, just like we did on the previous problems, we're going to divide each part by the negative 4. Okay, so we're going to get y equals, this one actually works out. 20 divided by negative 4 is negative 5, and then a negative divided by negative is a positive, and then 5/4 doesn't work out nice, so we're just going to leave it as 5/4. And there we go. All right, I would like you once again to pause the video. Please try this next problem and then come back and see how you did. Or come back if you get stuck. All right, we're going to again solve for y. To get rid of the 2x, I'm going to do minus 2x to both sides. So those are gone. I'm going to get 3y, and on the right side I have 9 minus 2x. And then to get rid of the 3, we're going to divide all 3 parts by 3. So we'll get y equals 9 divided by 3 is 3, and then this stays a negative. 2/3 does not work out nicely, so we'll just leave it 2/3. And there we go. All right, a few more examples. This time we're going to solve for the indicated variable. So if we have formulas, just like when I was doing the Pythagorean theorem at the beginning, we sometimes would like to solve for a specific variable. So this is an interest formula. It says I equals PRT, and we would like to solve for t. So I'm going to circle the t, and I'm going to draw a line down my equal sign. If the t and the r and the p are all right next to each other, that means multiply. So if I want to get rid of the p and the r since it's multiplied, we'll just divide both sides by the p and the r. So I'll get t on the right side, and then I'll just get I over pr on the left side. And we usually just write it as t equals, so it would be I over pr. And then we got it. So actually it is a little bit easier even than when we have numbers in the problem. Okay, this one, I'm not sure what it's a formula for, but it's r equals e over I. We are going to solve for e. So I'm going to circle my e. I'm going to draw a line down my equal sign. This is divided by I. To get rid of divided by I, we're just going to multiply both sides by I. So these would be gone. I'm going to get IR equals E. And then again, I like to write it so that's E equals IR. You could also have E equals RI. All right, 2 more problems and then we are done. Okay, number 11 is a volume formula. And this is actually to find the volume of a right cylinder. So like a pop can, we'd be finding the volume of. And this one we would like to solve for H. So again, I'm going to circle the H. I'm going to draw a line down my equal sign. This is the pi and the r squared are right next to the h, so it does mean times. So to get rid of those, we're going to divide by both of them. So divided by pi r squared. So we'll get v over pi r squared equals h. And I'm just going to rewrite it here as h equals v over pi r squared. When you go to put that in your assignment today, you will want to put the denominator in parentheses since you have more than one thing down there. All right, we do have an extra little step to this problem. It says to find the height if the volume is 100 and the radius is 4. So the volume is 100, so we know v is 100, and it says the radius is 4. So this guy right there is 4. So we're going to do 100 over pi we know is 3.14. And then 4 squared is 16. So you can type it into your calculator exactly like that. And let me go ahead and do that and see what I get as an answer. and I get 1.99 as my answer when I do that. So 1.99 will be the height, and there are no units given, so I don't need to worry about that. And then the last problem. All right, we've got perimeter P equals 2 times the quantity L plus W. That would be the perimeter of a rectangle, actually, and we would like to solve for W, the width. All right, so couple different ways we can do this. I'm going to do it the fast way this time. Since there are parentheses, we can just divide both sides by 2. So I'm going to have P over 2 equals, those are gone now, L plus W. And then to get the W by itself, we just want to subtract L from both sides. So we're going to have P over 2 minus L equals W. And I'm just going to rewrite it the other way. W equals P over 2 minus L. But both of these would be acceptable answers. So hopefully now you can rewrite an equation and or a formula.